Hello everyone, my name is Brendan Snyder. Thank you so much for joining me and welcome to part 2 of me exploring my music box sets with you. So I've got well over 200 box sets, and in the first video I went through 65 of those box sets. Now we're back with the next group here, and this has 52 and this one here. We're going to dive into this in just a bit, but before we do, if you're new to my channel and you haven't already hit the subscribe button, please click the button. Also leave a comment, hit like, all those things help support my channel. I would greatly appreciate it. And of course, as an added bonus, by subscribing, you'll be able to stay up to date on all that's going on in the world of music, just like this, with me going through 52 more of my music box sets with you. So no particular order. As I mentioned in the last video, I just moved from New York City, a tiny little 350 square foot apartment, to a 200 square foot house. So I'm just getting unpacked here, and part of that fun has been going through and re-exploring bunches of things that have been put away for all too long. In particular, all these great box sets. So I don't really have them in an order, and I don't have them on any kind of special shelving just yet, but I'm going to be working towards that. For now, we're just here to take a look at these great box sets, touch on them a little bit, give you my opinion and so forth. So let's dive into it. As I said, no particular order here, and we're just going to jump right into the middle of this thing. There's actually a bunch more up that way. I'll get to it one direction or the other on here. First one up, Mr. Big, The Vault. This thing is a massive, I think 22 disc box set, CD, DVD, about everything you can imagine in this thing. You can see that it's got 3 different binders worth of stuff that's in this. It is a Japanese box set that went for a lot of money when it first came out, but I managed to pick it up for about 150 bucks off of eBay, so did pretty well on that, and it's out of print now. It's hard to come by, but cool if you are a hardcore Mr. Big fan. All right, John Mellencamp on the Rural Route 7609. Cool little box set here. 4 disc, I believe. There we go, showing you what's track listing and everything that's on it. But it's got cool explanation, track by track commentary, and story from Mellencamp about the songs and so forth. A number of rarities included with it, and that sort of thing. So you get both album cuts and rarities and stuff. Very cool Thin Lizzy box set, simply called Rock Legends. This thing here is 6 discs, and we've got a greatest hits, one that's called Early Years, rarities 1, 2, and 3, and a live album, the Chinatown Tour in 1980. It's actually 7 discs because there's a DVD that's included in here as well. Like, I think 99 tracks on this. All of these, or of those, were unreleased. So 99 unreleased tracks or something like that. It was a huge vault clearing exercise for them to do that. And of course, it's got book and tour program and stuff like that. Very cool. All right, U2 Deluxe Edition box set for No Line on the Horizon. There was no bonus content or anything in here other than a DVD that came with this. Top of it lifts off like this, and you got the disc that was here, and you got a cool hardcover book that was in it, and poster and stuff like that. But yeah, very cool packaging and way to get into this thing here. But would have liked it if they had put some unreleased material. I always like the demos and stuff like that. Here's another U2 one. This one here, 360. This is at the Rose Bowl. Very cool one here. So DVD box set of theirs from that live show. But the cool thing is beyond that, it had an exclusive 7-inch single, hardback book, drawings of the stage, things like that. I just want to open this up here real quick because it just lifts off like that, which is pretty cool. And then when we lift this out here, we've got the book, and you get right into these other cool things, guitar picks, stuff like that. What I was trying to get to here was to see about that 7-inch that is buried in here, I know somewhere. And here it is. It is all the way in this part of it here. And since we've gone this far, let's just go a little step further and show you that. But it was a 7-inch called Soon that had been recorded just for use during this live show. Intro music, that sort of stuff. And it was kind of cool that they chose to include it in this packaging here. So, when bands do stuff like that and go that extra mile, always really, really appreciate it. All right, we got another one here from U2. Got a couple more, in fact. The Octonaut Baby Deluxe Edition one. Tons of stuff in this, remixes, demos, all of these sort of things like this are actually in here as 12 by 12 pieces of art. You can go through them, pull them out. You've got the book part of it here, and then there's this portion of it as well. And this has all of the art pieces in it. So cool that they gave you those. I worked in a record store back when that thing first came out, and that was the stuff that we used to create the display from, to promote it. They don't really do that anymore with physical product, but that was where that stuff actually came from. All That You Can't Leave Behind Deluxe Edition, 20th anniversary, pulls out this way, and there's a bunch of stuff inside that. Same sort of thing, the rarities of the demos, the remixes, stuff like that. It's a pretty common thing amongst all of the U2 box sets. Here's one that's a particular favorite of mine, Pink Floyd. You guys know they're my favorite band. The Later Years box. And this one here, while maybe not having as much unreleased material as we might like from the band, did have a good amount. So kind of cool the way this opens up, and right on the top there you see tour programs. But this has, number of live shows, performances, but it had some cool unreleased jam sessions and stuff like that. So as a diehard Pink Floyd fan, getting some unreleased material certainly made it worthwhile. But it was an expensive box set. Not everyone wanted to shell out for it, kind of a thing, and I totally get that. All right, next up, King Crimson. This one here being a 50th anniversary, Heaven and Earth is King Crimson's 50th anniversary, and they were putting out these box sets. The album Heaven and Earth, not 50 years old. This was recorded between, says studio live and audio 97 to 2008. So pretty cool stuff, but I like the way they do these. This was 24 discs in here. So a little different the way Pink Floyd does. 20 plus discs charges you $500. These were about $100, I think. I was getting them around 50 because I'm buying them after the fact. And sometimes, if you wait around, you can do that. Sometimes they sell out and you can't get them. So you don't always want to wait. You want to dive into your favorite bands and get them right away, which is what I did with the Pink Floyd stuff. But here's another one, On and Off the Road. Again, they're celebrating this one here, 40th anniversary series that they were putting out. But this one was between 1981 and 84. And again, featuring studio and live recordings covering those 3 albums from that period, which happens to be my favorite period of King Crimson. Okay, then we've got Smashing Pumpkins, Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness Deluxe Edition. I really like this here. I forget the name of this style of art. They talk about it inside, and you get these pieces that you can cut out. But it was a thing that they used to do where they would lay down the paper and then they would like shellac over it. And that's what this was based on here, but they actually give you the stuff inside in case you want to do it yourself. That was a sort of thing from, I don't know if it goes back to the 50s or before the 50s, but that was cool. This thing here, tons and tons of rare material and stuff like that. Billy Corgan records so much material when he does albums. There's never any shortage for their archival releases. Here's a cool one. Forget the name of the track that this is even from, but it's Smashing Pumpkins, and this is back when they were exploring the idea of doing a number of EPs and singles that they would later collect into album-length material, and they kind of got past that and didn't really do it. But this thing here was one of those things, and on the inside you did get a CD edition of this thing like this, but you also got the vinyl and other stuff inside it. So kind of cool there, and I've collected those things. All right, we've got The Who Quadrophenia. Whoops, holding that one upside down there. Cool deluxe edition of this. 2 discs worth of demos that are on here. It's a double album, of course. You're going to have 2 discs when you're doing that. But I picked it up more specifically for that than anything else. Here's one that I've always really enjoyed, War of the Worlds, and it's done by Jeff Wayne. And so this is a guy that composed the music and everything as a orchestral arranger and stuff like that. Put together an amazing grouping of people. We've got Justin Hayward in here from the Moody Blues, Phil Lynott from Thin Lizzy. Cool people, David Essex guesting on this to perform this thing. And it's just, also very well done in terms of graphics and the book style that's in here and explaining what's going on and so forth. All the cool posters to this thing and so forth, and commentary, and see if I can get to some of the art really quick. But there's the people performing in it and whatnot. But it's really well done in here. Not finding any of the art immediately, but good box set, and definitely love that stuff. And he's redone a number of those since that time with newer versions called the New Generation and so forth. So he's reinterpreted that music and brought it present day, which is cool. Let It Be Deluxe Edition. This one had just come out and was great. This one here, 6 discs, and we get to, new mix of the original album, but we also get the Get Back Apple Sessions in here, 2 discs of those. We get the Get Back album, the 1969 Glenn Johns mix of it that was originally going to come out before the label decided they needed to spruce it up a bit. Reaching for some more box sets here. Doors, LA Woman box set. Got a lot of cool things. The Doors were going through and reissuing everything on their 50th anniversary, and that's what these are here. Morrison Hotel. They're all numbered. They've all got the discs in them and the vinyl back here along with the booklet and things like that. Each one of these things had like fly-on-the-wall sessions that let you in, hearing the in-between banter and stuff like that was really cool. This one, the Soft Parade, was also very cool because Robbie Krieger went back in and added some guitar parts and new solos and things like that onto some of the different alternate takes, so you get different versions of things like that. There was one song in particular that, I don't know, he was out to lunch or something and he didn't record on for it, and so they did an alternate version where he added guitar parts to it, never had before, so that was very cool. The Ramones, Leave Home, this one here being 3 discs plus the LP, the original album, but then it's got rough mixes, it's got a 40th anniversary mix, a live album from CBGB's in '77. I'm telling you, I'm loving this archival stuff. I mean, this is stuff that you used to never get, that bands didn't want to release. They didn't think they could make money on it. But look at it, box sets these days, big business, sell sometimes better than brand new albums. The Replacements, Nice to Meet Me. This one here is 3 discs, 3 CDs, and 1 LP in it. Again, this has the Blackberry Way demos. It's got rough mixes, outtakes, alternate stuff like that, and another one from them. This is Dead Man's Pop, and this one was cool because it's got the redo of the album. It's a previously unreleased Matt Wallace mix of it. It was what they wanted to put out, but again, the label didn't let them. They chose something different. And then we've got rare and unreleased tracks, and we've got 2-disc concert performance as well. I'm going to reach down and grab a few more of these out here. All right. Tom Petty, Wildflowers. This one here being the 5-disc edition of it that was only available on the band's website. Since that time, they've released that extra 5th disc as a standalone thing. So you are now able to get it, but when I bought this, that was the only way to get that bonus 5th disc. I was a little disappointed that they would go and release it independently after I spent all the extra money to do this, but still nice to get it inside that thing there. Def Leppard, the early years, really enjoying these archival things that Def Leppard have been putting out. They do repeat some of the material like this, On Through the Night, High and Dry, those 2 albums included, but you get 3 discs of rarities, studio stuff, live stuff, BBC recordings, so going all out on these things. Another Def Leppard one here called London to Vegas, 2 live shows and the DVD performances of those, and this one here, The Cure, called Curation 25 plus anniversary. 2 different live concerts, but also it's got 2 new tracks that were recorded just for those performances, so that was pretty cool right there. All right. Bruce Springsteen, The Promise, Darkness on the Edge of Town. This one here, he included 2 discs, unreleased material with this. Bruce Springsteen's another one of those ones that just seemingly has so much archival material. This one here, The Ties That Bind the River collection. So another one of those box sets, but each time he's done this, he's gathered up all these outtakes and created essentially brand new albums, but then the only way to get them has been inside here. So, of course, that's why I'm picking them up. Queen, News of the World, 40th Anniversary Edition. This one here having rarities and stuff in it as well. I mean, that's for me the big thing. I'm buying a lot of these because of the outtakes that are included, the demos. It's the studio stuff for me more than the live stuff, but a lot of these also come with live albums. Here's another U2 one. Don't know why I didn't have it grouped with the other, but Joshua Tree just recently put this thing out here in a monster box set in and of itself. And we've got Nirvana, Nevermind, and this one's a cool one too, because when we pull that out, the water, which is the book itself, but the baby stays there. Lots of unreleased stuff. They just did this was the 20th anniversary, they did a 30th anniversary edition of this, and none of the stuff that was on here that was rare appeared on that. So you can actually get both if you want, but the 30th anniversary edition of it had a lot of live stuff. This had all the studio outtakes and things. In Utero, same sort of thing as the Nevermind from Nirvana. The Doors, this one here, London Fog, May 1966, earliest known performance of the Doors. It was a 6-song, I think, performance kind of a thing. Came with a lot of cool retro stuff from it, coaster, and because it was a club performance and the flyer from it. But this person that recorded it, this is actually the art that person did when they came home and they put it in the box and they drew the stuff on it and they stuck it away and didn't think much more about it until years later when it was dug up and done to kick off the 50th anniversary of the band. Pink Floyd, The Wall, Immersion Edition. These things are super great. Again, multiple discs of rarities, being the demos that were recorded, 2 different sessions of demos from different time periods as Roger was developing it. So you can listen to an early take on it and hear it one way. About a few months later, it's done again and they sequenced it and listened to that. And of course, we got the final version that becomes the album. But it's just great to hear that process all the way through. Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon. Immersion Edition, same sort of thing. This one here having tracks that are from the Household Objects album. That was kind of cool. It's an abandoned project where they actually tried to record an album all using household objects like wine glasses, right? And that piece in and of itself became the intro to Shine On You Crazy Diamond. So that was intended to be a whole album, but the 2 tracks that they did complete in there. Depeche Mode box set. This one here is, I'm not even seeing the name on the outside. The Something Sounds. There we go. Depeche Mode, well, Words and Images is the name of the book that's on it, but this is the album from that period, and I apologize, I'm spacing on the name of that. Alice Cooper, super duper Alice Cooper. So this was the documentary, but as part of this here, you also got a live performance, and then the DVD itself came with another live show in 1972. So 2 different live performances, 72, 2009, right there as part of that. Paul McCartney, Flaming Pie, great album that he did, and again, he's another one of those ones that includes lots of rarities and stuff like that, but in my opinion, one of his better solo albums. And if you're never a big fan of his solo stuff like that, you can go back to Wings, and this one was a cool box set. You can see all the books that are here within this thing. There's a tour itinerary book that's in this. There's a photography book by Linda McCartney, who of course was part of Wings, but also his wife. And then other book that's part of this. And of course you get all of the discs and outtakes and multiple shows that were recorded for that. So that's all really cool. Red Rose Speedway Deluxe Edition from Wings. All of these things, just very cool, the amounts of stuff that they come with in these things. Lots and lots of different like tour programs and memorabilia type things. I guess that's what the word I'm looking for. Kiss, Destroyer. So super expensive box set, $200. A lot of people didn't want to pay for it. For me, the Destroyer era outtakes and demos. We've got the Paul Stanley, 5 demos from him, and we've got another 10 from Gene Simmons. And I think 12 of those tracks never before released. So tracks, not just different versions, but actual songs never released. For me, I was happy to pay that money. Got a Ministry box set. Sorry, this one's so dusty here, but it's also got in it Revolting Cocks, Palehead, PTP, Thousand Homo DJs, Acid Horse, and of course the Ministry stuff that's in here as well, but a cool rarities collection of all the different things that Al Jourgensen has been doing. Hard to see on there because it's embossed, but Guns N' Roses' Appetite for Destruction, 30th Anniversary Edition when that came out, 2 discs of rarities and that. Tom Petty Live Anthology, 5 discs of all curated, unreleased live stuff, but then this thing came with Blu-ray, vinyl, a bunch of cool memorabilia in this thing. Very great packaging. Again, Tom Petty's one of those ones who's always done it right. Pearl Jam, spanning the years 90 to 92, but the debut album in this one. And then we've also got the Pearl Jam 93 to 95, and so this one being for Versus and Vitology grouped into one mega box set. Vinyl that's included in these CDs, all kinds of great stuff. All right, here's a cool one. Got this one off of the band's website. AC/DC actual amp you can plug into with the guitar, use the volume, turn this thing up and play, and it really does. It's got a speaker on it so it works. It doesn't sound great, but it is an actual working amp, and then all the music and everything is inside this thing. So very cool box set. This edition of it had like 2 discs worth of additional rarities that the 3-disc edition that was released in stores and stuff didn't have. So that's why I went for that one. And the 4-disc or 5-disc, I think, edition of the Gurr Rolling Stones box set itself, 50th anniversary. If you remember from part 1 of this, I showed you a smaller 3-disc edition. So I think this is the 4 CD plus 7-inch vinyl and stuff like that. But there you go. All right, so I've kind of trapped myself here in the corner, so I'm going to fade out here, and I've got about 5 more box sets to go through with you. All right, so thank you for bearing with me on that. I ended up just moving those boxes over here because, like I said, I kind of trapped myself in a corner, so I just grabbed them, pulled them over. All right, the Coffin box set or deluxe edition of the Death Magnetic from Metallica. This one here does have a disc of demos that's included in here, and a bunch of other cool things that are within inside that. A lot of these box sets, by the way, guys, I have done full unboxings and reviews of these sort of things. So click into the box set playlist folder that I've got, and you can find a lot of these if you want to, see more on them. Another U2 one, again, on this one for the Live in Paris show. What's really cool is they actually have one of these little lights inside here. It's a USB. You can plug it into your computer, and it's just like the one that they got at the concert. No live recording like a CD or anything, but lots of cool stuff, book, memorabilia, stuff like that, all included in it. I definitely prefer when there is audio CDs in my box sets, but sometimes the stuff is so cool like this U2 one or that other one that I showed you with the 7-inch in it that I'm okay with that. Another great one here, Iron Maiden, Eddie's Archives, and I guess it's 6 discs. It's 3 CD, 3 packages, but 2 discs a piece, so 6 discs total in it. B-sides, 2 discs worth of B-sides, totally made this worthwhile, and some other cool archival live shows. That's a first edition there. There were 2 editions of that. Heart has a pretty cool box set out, Strange Euphoria. A lot of cool rarities on that one as well. And the final one, Judas Priest, Metallology, and of course I just love the studs that wrap around this. Not as much unreleased material as I would have liked on this here. It focused mostly on live stuff, including that most recent box set that Judas Priest did that gathered up all the albums plus live albums and then like 10 discs worth of additional live stuff. Apparently there's very little in the way of unreleased studio outtakes and things of that nature, so I think we've seen it all in the reissues of the albums that it contained those extra outtakes and whatnot. But cool box set nonetheless, career spanning at least up until the time that came out, even including the stuff with Ripper Owens, so that was very cool. There you go, 52 box sets, again, this being part 2, tacking on to the original 65, so we're well over 100 now. I've got over 200 of these, so again, if this goes well, maybe there'll be a part 3. We'll have to wait and see. All right, everyone, have a great day, take care, and I'll talk to you all real soon. Bye-bye.